Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're talking about a few things that you should know before buying a house for the first time. My name is Nenad and I've been a real estate agent here in San Diego for the last 4 years. And today we're going over some rough guidelines of purchasing your first home. However, if you do live in another state, I highly recommend that you reach out to an agent in your area, as they're going to be able to help you a little bit more, because from state to state the laws and regulations do vary. So let's get right into it. Suggestion number 1. So I want you guys to have a clear understanding of what exactly it is that you're looking for. I know this may seem like super generic advice, but you guys would be surprised with how many people I speak to who don't really have a direction as to what it is that they're looking for. So what I always do is I always recommend all of my clients to take some time to sit down and go over what's important to them in their next home. Some of the more basic questions and probably obvious questions are things like, how many bedrooms do I want? How many bathrooms are important to me? Do I want to have a big yard? Do I want to have a low maintenance yard? Do I want to live in a gated community? Do I want to be on a cul-de-sac? So these are some of the more basic questions that most of you are aware of, but I also want you guys to answer some deeper questions as well. When you reach out to an agent and you guys decide on your location, I want you guys to ask them about the market. So ask them, has the value been increasing in these areas? Has the value been decreasing? How many people are moving out of the areas? How many people are moving in? How many houses are on the market? What's the current days on the market? So there's a ton of questions behind the scenes that are super important that you guys need answered. And like I said, I highly recommend you reach out to an agent to help you answer those questions. So another thing I want you guys to do is to go over your monthly expenses. So by doing this, you're going to be able to create a budget for yourself. So once you do that and you add up all of your monthly expenses, your current living expenses, your utility bills, your car payments, cell phone bill, all that good stuff, you guys are going to come up with a number. And once you come up with that number, you're going to be able to decide what type of a mortgage payment is going to fit comfortably in my budget. When purchasing a home, it's super important that you guys are able to afford it and afford it comfortably. I don't want you guys to go out there and max out your budget and make it so that you guys don't have enough money to do the things that are important in life, which are, traveling, taking the kids on trips, going out to eat, doing all that fun stuff. And so you're not just working every month to pay off your mortgage bill. So all these things are super important to nail down, both your budget and your wants and needs. And it's going to give you a rough guideline, and obviously these things can change over time, but it's going to give yourself and your agent a really good starting point in your home search process. Suggestion number 2, I want you guys to find a real estate agent who's really going to sit down and understand your wants and your needs. So working with a real estate agent who's going to understand what exactly it is that you're looking for is just going to make everything so much easier for you guys. And if you guys are watching this, you're probably a first-time home buyer, so you're freaked out by the whole process. And their job is to understand what you're looking for and make it easy for you guys. So make sure you guys find someone who has some sort of experience working with first-time home buyers, because obviously if you're a first-time home buyer, you've never done this before, so everything is going to be completely new to you guys. Us as real estate agents, it becomes just kind of second nature. So sometimes we do forget to explain things thoroughly. So working with someone who understands the situation that you're in is just going to make everything so much better for you guys. So one way you guys can go about finding an agent is obviously just ask around, ask your friends, ask your family who they've used in the past and how their experience was. And another thing that you can do is go on Instagram. There's a lot of realtors on there promoting themselves. So that's a good way to find someone. Or you guys can go on Zillow.com. It's super simple. They have a tab, find an agent. You can type in your area. It's going to give you all the agents in the area. It's going to give you reviews, what they've sold, just a ton of information on them. And that way you basically know who they are before even reaching out to them. Alright guys, so suggestion number 3, and I want you guys to save, save, save. Obviously buying a home is, especially right now, is not cheap, and there's a ton of expenses that come with owning a home, so it's a great step in your life. However, you do need to be financially prepared in order to buy your first home. So there are some loans that start as low as 3.5% and it goes up from there. But I want you guys to make sure that when you put your money down for your house, that you have enough savings left after that for an emergency fund. And a lot of times I suggest to my clients that you have at least 3 to 6 months saved up as an emergency fund. So other than the down payment, there's also a few additional costs that you guys need to make sure that are in your budget. Some of those things include closing costs, which are costs that your lender is going to charge you for the loan. There's also escrow costs, title costs, moving costs, which a lot of people don't think about. And I typically tell my clients that this cost is anywhere between 1 to 1.5% of the purchase price. Also, I want you guys to remember that any inspections that you do on your home, which obviously we always recommend a general home inspection on any house that you're purchasing, the buyer pays for any of those inspections. So it's not part of the seller's responsibility to make sure that the house you're purchasing is in good condition. That's part of your and your agent's due diligence to make sure you guys are purchasing something that's going to be a wise investment for you guys. And just on a side note, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate both a like and a subscribe. I try to bring content like this to you guys every week, so I hope this really helps you guys out. So suggestion number 4, I want you guys to finally go out and get pre-approved with a loan officer. Obviously, if you're buying the house in cash, you're not going to need a loan. However, most of you first-time home buyers are going to be obtaining a loan. So getting pre-approved is going to be extremely important for you guys when purchasing your first home. So those of you that don't know what a pre-approval is, it's basically when you deliver some of your financial information to a loan officer, and they're going to go through your financial history, and that bank is going to decide how much money they're willing to loan you. So getting pre-approved with a loan officer is going to give you a clear understanding of exactly how much of a house you can afford and exactly what your monthly payment is going to be. Now, I did mention that a good way to find a loan officer is through your real estate agent. So I highly recommend going to your realtor and asking for a few different loan officers. And what you can do is you can reach out to all these different loan officers, and they're gonna provide you with different quotes. So I highly recommend that you guys shop around for the best rate and the best closing costs, and ultimately save you guys a little bit of money. Now, just because you guys got pre-approved for a certain amount, it doesn't mean that you have to spend all of it. Just remember back in your budget when you guys discussed what is gonna be a comfortable payment for you guys, I want you guys to stick to the budget and make sure that you're using only as much as you need and what's going to be comfortable for you guys in the long run. And finally, suggestion number 5. I want you guys to be patient. I want you guys to educate yourselves on your local market. And ultimately, I want you guys to do what feels right. Especially if you guys are looking for a house right now, due to the extremely low inventory, there's been a lot of first-time home buyers who feel like they're never going to find a house. But I want to reassure you that the house that is for you is out there. I don't want you guys to go out there and rush into something that's not perfect for you. So I really want you guys to think about your current living situation and your current financial position and decide whether buying a home is the right decision for you and your family. And trust me, when you guys find the right house, immediately when you walk into the door, all of my buyers have this. They know that this is the right house for them. And there is a house out there for you guys, I promise. When it comes to educating yourself on your local market, this is where your real estate agent is really gonna be able to help you guys. Your agent is gonna be able to tell you whether a lot of homes are receiving high offers, whether there's been price reductions, whether the inventory has been moving, or whether the inventory has been stagnant. So all of these things are really gonna come into play when deciding if this area is going to be a good area to invest your money in. It's also important to know your local market because you're going to know what you're getting yourselves into, and a lot of times different people will categorize it into a seller's market or a buyer's market, and currently right now we're mostly in a seller's market. I would say probably in every part of the United States due to the low inventory. So understanding what kind of a market you're in is really going to give you an idea of what kind of strategies and pool you're going to have when it comes to negotiating an offer on a house. So there it is, guys. Those are my 5 suggestions for anyone who's thinking about going out and buying a house for their first time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sure I'll see you guys next time.